gentlemen, I want to invite now one of the greatest singers of our time. You know, when people hear greatest singers of our time, some people who are over 30, they expect Oscars, operas. Don't worry, and the young people expect free dance. But this person that I'm about to introduce to you is one person who I know can sing wonderfully. So ladies and gentlemen, you know in Nigeria people say when you're introducing someone on stage, they normally give you the energy to encourage, to welcome the person. You say, ladies and gentlemen, the person that I'm bringing here, you've never seen him. And if you've seen him before, you've not seen him today. Oh, and so this is why I'm telling you, jump your hand, you jump up. If you want to die, you die. But clap. So that's what they say. So ladies and gentlemen, Kenyans we are used to diplomatic clubs. And then we are used to looking at the person the way they dress. Oh my gosh. Who do you sing at as if you know, those are Kenyans. But ladies and gentlemen, this one we are going to do it in a Nigerian oomph. You don't try, you put the oomph so that you triumph. Okay? So ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome one and only Taiwo.
God bless this land and bless our leaders too. Help them to rule in righteousness and truth. Let peace prevail. Let riches overflow. This land of Kenya, God's chosen land.
When was the last time you took time to pray for Kenya? Yes, we thank God. The reason why we talk about, like for us, the comedians nowadays, we'll be talking about Luya, Kikuyu, Kisii, and all that. Because the same way the map of Kenya looks like, you know, all those corners. Without those corners, it can't be Kenya. Without Wameru, Kisii, Wakamba, there is no Kenya. We are all Kenyans, yes, but remember, you will always be a Luo, isn't it? Because can you imagine if Kenya we don't have Luos? It would be so boring. Who would throw stones on the road, by the way? None. Yeah? If we don't have Kikuyus, for heaven's sake, I tell you this will be the worst country. No business, nothing. No business. If we don't have Luyas, who would take our tea? If you don't have Kisis, and you know Kisii people, because of being a Kisii, the way they talk, they can't even say Sisi. You know. So where would we get Kisii? If we don't have Kales in this Kenya, who would run for us? Who would win gold for Kenya? Hey, so that's why we need to make sure they are there soon. But we are all what? Kenyans. That is our message for this year. So that we don't fight. Because if you kill a Kamba, where will we get jokes about Kambas? Or who will make Mishale for us? If you kill a Luo, surely. Who will drive Range Rovers? Wamefurahi sasa. They ran for 42 kilometers. The moment the cameramen come there and ask them, so how was the race? They speak few words. It was tough, but I won. After 42 kilometers. And if these journalists follow them into where they are going to change, because they say, it was tough, but I won, and they leave. If they follow them and ask them, so how did you start being engaged in a race? Very well, that is Delimo. Very well, actually, imagine my mother used to be in a race, and my grandmother also, and my sister also used to be in a race. Now I am in the race, so we are all racists. Who would give such kind of stories? Yeah? If not Kenyans, if not Kale.
This is, thank you so much. Wow, you know, I have laughed so hard this evening. MC, just thank God there is only one of you on earth. You know, but it's such a joy to be here, and it's such an honor to see all of you. You know, when we, the concept came to have an evening where we just have a good time, you know, where we can laugh and just be empowered and inspired to go to the next form of our lives. And that's part of what I'm going to actually be talking about when we talk about pit stop execution. But let me just give you a summary of what Power Talks is into right now, and why we are where we are and doing the things we're doing. Now, our mission is very simple: transforming Africa one mind at a time. You know, we are products of our thoughts. We are where we are today because of the way we thought yesterday. And so if we're going to change our stinking living, we've got to change our stinking thinking. All right? I am very particular about the mind. So my job is to come and, like somebody said, to disrupt the routine, to disrupt the way you're thinking. Listen, if the way you are thinking could deliver your vision, you will be there by now. Okay? So that's what we do. And how are we going about this thing? We're doing this by number one. So corporate training, we do mentoring and coaching. You've heard from amazing people. And we have a philosophy. It's called the 3L program. That is leaders leading leaders. And then, of course, we have the articles in the Daily Nation. We also write for the Management Magazine, Marketing Africa, our blogs and things like that. We have a publishing arm. Part of what we want to do is to create a platform for Africans to begin to write. Because, you know, a society that does not have written history is a society that did not exist. That's how come an Oxford professor in his demented state said Africa did not have any history before colonial rule. You know? Why? Because we don't document our things. And if we want to build a culture of readers, we must also build a culture of writers. All right? And so that's why we're very, very particular about publishing. And so if you're here and you feel you're gifted in that area, let us talk. That's an area we're going into big time. Anyway, when I turned 40 a few years ago, I asked myself, I said, if I died at 40, will anybody remember me? And I couldn't categorically say anybody would. So I realized I was living for myself. And I began to study great people. You know, before 40, my life was made up of the car you drive, the watch you wear, the house you live, and all that. But I realized that when you look at people like Martin Luther King, nobody remembers the car he drove. So I went to Mathare to look for a bunch of young people that I could mentor. Because if the transformation can work in Mathare, it can work everywhere. Now, I got a bunch of young people. One of them is this amazing lady called Cynthia. Listen, we invested in them. I spent 3 months training them on leadership and entrepreneurship. Then we invested in them. We started a company for them. Today, they make, this is multi-purpose detergent from Mathare. This is dishwashing liquid. It's called Crystal Shine. And so, our target is that this will be the #1 multi-purpose detergent in the continent of Africa. We also do branded shirts, all right? And our goal is to actually have a factory very soon to produce our own shirts, to produce all these things. And these are done by young Kenyans that people have given up on who came from Mathare. Cynthia, say a word or two.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And I can say that there is no perfect location. There is no such thing as good idea, bad idea, perfect location, bad location. Because we are from Mathare, and you can imagine all those things that I said about youth from Mathare. I imagine every bad thing that you hear is just from Mathare. And look at me right now. That very perfect location that you set in your mind has transformed to be this great location that it has even given me an opportunity to stand in front of such great men and ladies too. And I'm trying to imagine that if every other person in Mathare, just the way this program is doing throughout the country, how beautiful can our country be if we, people from Mathare, can stand and talk to you and we can do things. We are busy doing, we're not idle, you know. Back then we used to have friends and we used to think reading books, reading newspapers, things that are transforming our mind was not useful to us. Even people are wondering what has happened to us. And it is not that anything bad has happened, it is what is good that is happening in our lives. And I'm just so honored, and I thank Dr. Wale, and I thank God too. I just see how beautiful our future is with everything that we are doing. And I'm sure that in the future, you look up to us and you'll remember this day.